Hey, this sunny day's 3:05. We in the building. We streaming live on YouTube at Albert Sunny Campbell and also on Facebook at Sunny Days 3:05 and on Facebook at Albert Sunny Campbell. So I just want to talk about a little history. Um, I also want to start off by some reflections of today's event. Today, we had a legacy designation for Mother Moselly Whisby, an alley right next to her house was named after her because of the works that she has done in her community and the impact that she have had on hundreds of people's lives. As I listened to one of her family members speak today, um, her son, and he was saying that his mother, she wasn't a type of person that speaks to the media or wasn't the type of person that you will see in the newspaper. But the people that you do see that go internationally and is well known sit at her feet and get her advice. So today we are honored, the Circle Brotherhood, to have hosted today the event that highlighted the legacy designation of Mother Moselly Whisby out of the 40s. So the alley was named after her between 46th and 47th Street on 11th Avenue. And it was hosted by the Circle Brotherhood. And so I want to talk a little history and I want to talk about the works of the Circle Brotherhood and the vision of Brother Leroy Jones. He was instrumental in getting this designation done. Our lead organizer, Brother Leroy Jones. And so oftentimes I know that when we go through our short month of Black history, you know, we always talk about our heroes and our sheroes from the past that have done great things. And so I'm always looking around for those living examples, those people that's among us that we'll find out how important they were and are to our lives after they transcend. So I don't know if you all remember the Arthur McDuffie riots in 1980, where the brother was riding a motorcycle. He was beaten by some white police, which caused a major riot in Liberty City. You had some cases where some of our brothers was walking around with Caucasian people heads on a stick. And we burnt down our community and we destroyed some businesses in our community. You know, some of those businesses have not come back to our community. You know, they let us destroy our own community, but they didn't let us go and tear up their community. Well, anyway, our lead organizer, Brother Leroy Jones, he didn't want Brother Arthur McDuffie tragedy to be written out of history. So he took it upon himself to lobby or to petition to have some avenues named after Arthur McDuffie. And so there are 3 intersections that are avenues. They are down 17th Avenue, but there's 4 intersections. And if you look at those where those intersections are, you will see Arthur McDuffie name on them. That idea came out of the mind and the works of Brother Leroy Jones. So on the intersection of 46th Street and 17th Avenue, on the intersection of 54th Street and 17th Avenue, and on the intersection of 62nd Street and 17th Avenue, they are named after after Arthur McDuffie. And so I don't want us in this community to sleep on the works that the Circle of Brotherhood is doing in our community. About 3 years ago, some members of the Circle of Brotherhood, we went to a candlelight vigil that was sponsored by Sister Tangela Sears, Sister Letha Bush, the Mothers of Murdered Children. And they had a candlelight vigil at Belafonte Tokosi Center. And at that center, we marched in the streets. And we were chanting, "Stop killing our children. Let our children live. Give our children a chance. Stop killing our children." And we marched in the street chanting that at the top of our lungs until we got to the Belafonte Tokosi Center. And when we got to that place, there were over nearly 50 grieving mothers that was grieving because their children had been slain from senseless gun violence. And there was an artist that hand painted every one of those angels picture, and it was at the park on display. And so when they called out the mother name and called out the child name, I was the one that was lighting the white candle to give each one of the grieving mothers that came up and got the candle, symbolizing they want to start a legacy and keep letting their children's name be known, and not wanting what happened to them to happen to other children. And so myself and 3 other members of the Circle of Brotherhood, as we was walking back to our cars, our brother Leroy Jones, he stopped and he said, "Hey man, we got to do something about this. And we got to do something that have not been done before." He said that we have put people pictures on a t-shirt. We have poured out liquor. We have made makeshift memorials of our children that have been slain and our people that have been slain from senseless gun violence. And I seen him in contemplation. And he said, "You know what? We're going to do a hunger strike." So myself, including him, and 7 other brothers, we went on a 21.5-day hunger strike with just water, camped out across the street from the Poke and Bean projects on 62nd Street and 12th Avenue. And we didn't do it for recognition. We didn't do it to change laws. We didn't do it to ask for money. We did it because we wanted our community to know that there are some men in our community that will lay it all on the line for them. And all we wanted to do is have an internal dialogue with our people and plead with them to put the guns down and stop killing one another. That's the type of brothers that's in the circle of brotherhood. And we go around in this city and we talk to our people and we talk to the shooters and we go to the funeral of victims and we love on this community. And there are some of us that have done so much wrong in this community that it's binding on us to go back into a community that we helped to destroy. That's what we do in the circle of brotherhood. We have another branch of the circle of brotherhood that's called the peacemakers. These brothers are Frank, Big Man Frank, and others. They get calls when our people get gunned down in the streets. They get calls. And they go out to the crime scene. And they go out and talk to the victims of the family members to console them, to see if they can get them resources, to see if there's anything that they could do to them. The peacemakers go around in the community to plead with our brothers and sisters. Stop killing each other, man. Because I'm telling you, like, a lot of us have been coming to realize because somebody done started knocking on your door. A lot of doors that you think that they wouldn't get that knock. It's happening all over. It's happening in the churches. It's happening now. It's happening on the highway. And so don't sleep on what the circle of brotherhood is doing. And we need your support. And so we got some events going on. The first one is, let me see if I could pull it up. Put on my glasses here. We need your support. We have our first annual Peacemaker Summit. Is the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. 2023 first annual Peacemaker Summit. We're going to have speakers. We're going to have speakers like such as Riza Islam. Also, Brother Malik Shaheed Muhammad. This brother is the one that was instrumental in squashing the gang violence in California with the Crips and the Bloods and other gang members. Also, we're going to have Bishop Frank Madison Reed III. We are also having Reverend Alfred Jackson Jr., founder of the World Literacy Crusade. This event is going to be held January the 14th at Dr. Dorothy Bendroff's Mendenhall Social and Economic Institute at 5120 Northwest 24th Avenue, and it is absolutely free. Once again, it's our Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. 2023 first annual Peacemakers Summit at our headquarters. And for all of us that's on this video, share the message right now. Don't like it. Share it. After the Dr. Martin Luther King, after that summit on the 24th, after the summit on the 14th, the 14th of this month is the summit. On the 16th of this month, we'll be having the Martin Luther King Parade Festival. We asking that come out. We trying to get the Martin Luther King Parade like it used to be back in the day. And it's a safe place now. We got security out there now. And we gonna have the circle of brotherhood out there. So it's gonna be safe. Come out, family. Let's start back loving on our parade. The Martin Luther King parade, that's our parade. So let's start loving on our parade, and let's start coming back out. It's a safe space. Okay? On the 17th, the day after the parade, let me read this flyer. It says, 2023 men only meeting. Wanted, wanted, alive and well. Our survival depends on our unity. Let me read this again. This here, after every Martin Luther King parade, we go out and we pass out palm cards to ask our men to come to our meeting, because I'm gonna tell you the biggest problem in our community is the absence of the man. I'm not talking about the absence of the male, because the male is present in our community. Our community is absent the men. And we have some men in our community that has so much to give this community, but they just don't know how to articulate it, and they don't know what avenue that they could use, that they could come back and get training on how to be proper men in our community. This is what gave rise to the Circle of Brotherhood. So after every Martin Luther King parade, we do an all men's meeting. And I'm gonna read the flyer again. It says 2023 men's only meeting. Wanted, alive and well. Our survival depends on our unity. Calling all men from Dade and Broward to the front line. So we calling the, hey, listen. We at war. And the war is internal. Listen, it's not the white man. Although he got his part that he played, but our war, right now, it don't have nothing to do with the white man. But it has everything to do with the black man. And so in the Circle of Brotherhood, they take ex-crooks like me and ex-crooks like my brother and ex-crooks like World and ex-crooks like James Thomas J. and bring us into the Circle of Brotherhood and give us the training and the data that we need, that we could go back out and reach our community and reach our people. Because we know that, like, some of our young brothers and sisters, like, they not afraid of their parents. Some of them beat their parents. We got our young brothers and sisters, they not afraid of the police. They not afraid of the RICO. They not afraid of the feds. They not even afraid of dying. But we got somebody that could reach them, and we all that we need. Because we have asked everybody to come in this community to help us. And myself and the Circle of Brotherhood and the leadership of the Circle of Brotherhood, we have come to the conclusion that we are the only people that's going to be able to save us. And just because your son is safe, just because your grandson and your granddaughter and your son and your daughter are safe, so you think. Listen, until all of us are safe, until all of us are free, none of us are free, nor none of us are safe. And so we're gonna stop all this like this senseless, like we don't care about what's going on to our people in our community because they don't live in your household, because you don't live in those zip codes. So that's why we have an all men's meeting after the Martin Luther King parade. So we pass out thousands of palm cards at the parade. And it is at the parade that we have received some of the best servants of our community through the Circle of Brotherhood, because we passed those palm cards out during the Dr. Martin Luther King parade. Who are the peacemakers? Who is it that's going to bring the peace back to our community? I'm telling you, brother, how long, men, I'm talking to the men now, how long are we going to put this work on the sisters? And this is another thing that really, really hurt me, man. When we was at that candlelight visual and them mothers was crying, this is what hurt me. The men wasn't with them. Where's our men? How long, bruh? How long is we gonna put this work on our women? How long, men, is we gonna stand on the sideline and look at our children? I'm gonna tell you something. Like, you know, I used to be about that life, and I'm telling you, you had people on 15th like Mr. Wonderful, you had Soup Boy, you had Bowleg, the older G's that was on 15th Avenue. They used to talk to us. They used to tell us to open businesses. They used to tell us to put the guns down. They used to sit us down and school us. Where is our Mr. Wonderfuls today? Where is our Soup Boys and Bowleg today? Where is our Martin Luther King today? Where is our Malcolm X today? So I tell us, like, don't sleep on the Circle of Brotherhood and its leadership. Google Leroy Jones and see, and I promise you, most of the people that you read about in history, he done way more works than them. And I'm telling you, the Circle of Brotherhood, we are the very best of the organizations of old. So we take the best out of the Black Panther Party. We take the best out of COB and SNCC and MOVE. The Circle of Brotherhood is like bumblebees. We go around to every flower and every organization, and we go down and we read that history about Joseph Caleb and Gwen Cherry, and we read that history about our heroes that lived in our own community, and we take the very best out of what we learned from them, and we put it together, and we try to make something sweet to come back in our community to save our community and save our people. There would not be an Arthur McDuffie Avenue if it did not come in the mind of Brother Leroy Jones. And you have our young people now, they don't know nothing about Arthur McDuffie. But I tell you what, as long as them signs is in them four-way traffic signs on 17th Avenue, on 46th Street, 54th Street, and 62nd Street, one day they're gonna look up and some people they're gonna wonder, who is this person? Who is that person? Because their names will be there long after we leave. It was in the mindset of Brother Leroy Jones to make this legacy designation for Mother Moselly Whisby, that she may have an alley named after her name, that long before even her children are gone, her name will be on that alley, and somebody will look at that one day and wonder whose name is that, and do some research and do some history and teach our people about it. To all our brothers that God has spared us because we was in them streets. And there's a lot of people that was in them streets with us that didn't do a fraction of what we did, but God saved us. He saved our lives. For what? He did it so we can give back and go back and save our community. That's why he did it. It's no other reason why he saved my life except to go back in the community that I helped to destroy. Brother Frank said, I know her personally. She was a great woman. Man, I pray one day that the works I do in this world would be worthy to be talked about long after I'm gone. And the only way, man, like Big Frank, he been out there in them trenches like for years, man, with the peacemakers, man. And we need to listen to Big Frank because he had the stories, man, of how those families are devastated when Big Frank and the peacemakers, they are called. They are on call to go wherever shooting go on in our community. They like the second people there, the police there, then they come. I'm talking about the peacemakers. And the devastating stories they hear from the families of the victims. So once again, I want to make these announcements. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. 2023 First Annual Peacemakers Summit. It will be held on January the 14th at the Dorothy Bendross Mendenhall Social and Economic Institute. The address is 5120 Northwest 24th Avenue. We have some powerful brothers that's coming in from out of town. We have Riza Islam. We have Brother Abdul Malik Shaheed Mohammed, formerly Brother Tony, the brother that was instrumental in bringing a truce between the gangs in California. We also have Bishop Frank Madison Reed III. And last but certainly not least, Reverend Alfred Johnson Jr., founder of the World Literacy Crusade. That will be on the 14th of January. On the 16th, we'll be having the Martin Luther King parade. And once again, let's start coming back out. Nothing have been happening in the last few years. You know, you've been hearing some youngsters, they been yapping off at the mouth, but it's been a very peaceful parade the last few years. So I'm saying, family, come on back out. Come out. And let's start back enjoying the Martin Luther King parade. It was really big for us. That was the biggest thing since the classic. So we asking that you come out. And on the 17th, after the parade, let me read this flyer. 2023 Men Only Meeting. Wanted, alive and well. Our survival depends on our unity. Calling all men from Dade and Broward County to the front line. We need you, brother. What Big Frank say? Big Frank say, imagine during COVID when the babies had no Pampers and the mothers had no jobs or money. The Circle Brotherhood helped the women and the children with sanitary napkins and hygiene products. I know that this is what I'm saying. So, bruh, at 5120 Northwest 24th Avenue, you can come there and find a job. You can come there and get training. We have OIC in our building. For those people that have small businesses, we have tools for change. And we have Nana that Nana does the mom and pop grants. And then we have tools for change that does loans for small businesses. And just like Big Frank said, during the COVID, when our people was hurting the most, we gave out Pampers for the babies and sanitary napkins and different things that we gave away during the pandemic. This is what we do because we love our people. And when you start loving your people, you start doing things. Love is an action word. Love is the definition of the circle of brotherhood. Black men solving our own community problems. So hey, this Sunny Days 305 Degrees podcast, loving on this community. We ask that you come out and support us. And we asking the men, don't worry about how bad a shape you're in. All you got to do is want to love this community and help this community. And we have a program. And we have skills and tactics and data that can help you bring out of you that what you knew that you never know you had. And I'm going to tell you, our young people, they want to talk to somebody that been through something. Because how can you tell our children that something that you haven't been through? They can't feel you. It's no connection there. How can you tell our brothers to stop selling drugs and you don't have something for them to do, to make money? Huh? How can you tell our children to come out of gang life and then you don't have nowhere for them to go? Well, I tell you what, the circle of brotherhood, we are the question and the answer. We are the solution to our community. The black man. The black man has arisen. And we are coming back to tell our sisters, take a rest, sis. We know your shoulders are tired and your feet is hurting and you got pain in your back. As a result of not just carrying the children, but carrying the black man. We know you're tired. So we want you to sit down, sis. Just feed us what we need so we can power up and go out there and work in our community. So hey, this Sunny Days, 305 degrees. If you have not followed me on Sunny Days 305, follow me on YouTube at Albert Sonny Campbell. Also follow me on Facebook at Sunny Days 305. Hey, and I want to see us at the summit, the Peace Summit on the 14th at the Dorothy Bendroff Mendenhall Social and Economic Institute. I want to see you at the Martin Luther King Parade on the 16th. And for the men, we want to see you at the all men's meeting again at the same place at our headquarters at the Dorothy Bendroff Mendenhall Social and Economic Institute at 5120 Northwest 24th Avenue. Hey, don't meet me there, beat me there. Until the next time, live your best and your blessed life. Peace.